even faster. Now, Mary showed us a spiral with 4 quadrants in it, representing the 4 domains of our life, right? You have relationships, you have health and well-being, you have vocation, you have time and money freedom. And as I was building my dreams and getting into this work, I remember the moment when it dawned on me that it was okay to have more than one dream. How many of you know that? It's okay to have more than one dream. You can have lots of different dreams. And so one of the dreams that I had growing up was to play college football. So think about a dream that you have right now. One of the dreams is bubbling up for you. Because I'm going to tell you a story. And I want you to put yourself inside this story so that you can claim your dream. Because oftentimes dreams aren't handed to you, are they? You have to claim your dream. And so for me, I wanted to play college football. That was actually why I went to class in high school. It's true. I wanted to get good grades so I could go to college and play college football. That's how badly I love football, and I loved playing. And my senior year in high school, we went to a college recruiting specialist. Mary and I went, and my dad is there, and he's going to consider bringing me to these colleges and have me as one of his recruits to kind of pitch me to these colleges. And I'll never forget, I'm in this meeting with this guy. He's looking at my stats as a football player. He's looking at my height. I'm 5'9", looking at my weight, 175 pounds, looking at my strength. And he goes, well, son, I hate to tell this to you, but guys like you are a dime a dozen. Imagine your dream, something you want with your whole heart. And that's the message that you're given. You know what? What does that message mean? Not special. That's exactly how I took it, that I wasn't, so this guy doesn't think I have what it takes. I mean, I'm a dime a dozen? Maybe there's someone in your life. Think about this for a moment. In life, when we have a dream, often there's that person who plays the resistance in our life. Maybe there was someone who played the resistance in your life. A parent told you you didn't have what it takes. You're not good enough. Maybe it was a teacher. Maybe it was a coach. Maybe it was an authority figure who said, you don't have what it takes. One of the first steps in achieving our dream is we have to overcome the external resistance. We have to believe enough in our own mind that what we want is possible, that we're willing to pass through the resistance that we meet. And so for me, my answer to this man, I didn't speak it out loud because he was an elder, he was an expert, but in my mind I'm thinking, oh, you don't know me. You think I'm a dime a dozen, you clearly don't know me. Because I believed in myself. Now, was I scared? Absolutely. I didn't know how it was all going to work out, but I trained and trained. One thing I did know how to do was work. How many of you know how to work? You know how to put in the elbow grease, and I worked all summer long. Worked. Sprints, weights, gym, and walked on to the University of San Diego. And they have a football program that's Division I AA. And as a freshman, I made the team. Division I AA. And my dream was to play college football. Now, as a freshman, just so that you understand, I was 4th string running back, which means there's 3 guys in front of me, and I'm 3rd string on the kickoff team. So there's 2 men in front of me there. And so my primary job as a 4th string running back and 3rd string on the kickoff team was to make sure that the bench stayed nice and warm. Right? As a freshman, that was my primary job. Now, for those who don't know much about football, the kickoff team, the goal for the kickoff team is when your team scores a touchdown, your team kicks the ball to the other team, and they try to run it back as far as they can. And your job is to tackle them as far down the field as you can, backing them up. So about halfway through the football season, I've never seen the field. My goal is to play. And that's what I want with all my heart. And I'm warming the bench. And I'm doing a darn good job of warming that bench, okay? And halfway through the football season, my brothers call me. So you met both of my brothers. You met John Boggs, who just told you the house story. And you met Rich Boggs a little bit earlier, who's the Leo. Who likes long walks on the beach and I think French films, was it? French films. So you met both my brothers. And, and so they called me up and they're like, Matt, we are coming to San Diego, buddy, and we're going to come watch one of your games and we want to watch you play. And I'm saying, well, fellas, I mean, you know how it works, man. I'm a freshman. I'm fourth string running back, just so you know. I'm third string on the kickoff team. The chances of me getting on the field are slim to none. And they're like, that's okay. You know what? We're coming to watch you. We're coming because we believe in you. We love you. We want to support you. And we've never played college football, so we're living through you, man. We're living through you. So we hung up the phone. Now, what do you think happened to my desire for getting on the field at that moment? It went way up. I thought I had been practicing as a 10. I prided myself on someone who would play full out in practice. I thought I had been practicing at a level 10. But what was interesting is when I hit the field that next week, there was a whole nother Matt Boggs on that field. I was sprinting from drill to drill. I was the first one on the field every day. I was the last one off the field every day. I not only wanted to improve my game, but I wanted to show the coaches that I was improving my game. What would it take for you to increase the level in which you've been willing to go after your dream? Some of you have been going after your dream. Some of you, it's just been an idea that's been on the shelf. And that's okay. But wherever it is, what would it take? What level of desire would be required for you to increase your engagement, increase your action? What would it take for you to go after it at a whole nother level? And so Thursdays is when they post what are called the depth charts in the locker room. Now, the depth charts are where they show who's going to play in the game and then all their backups. Now, the all-stars, they know they're playing in the game because they're the all-stars. But the rest of us, what we do is on Thursdays, we huddle around the depth charts to find out who's going to play. Because Friday is simply a walk-through practice, and then we hit the game on Saturday. So Thursday come, and it's like this every week. The coach comes in, all the guys are waiting. He posts up the depth charts, and the tape, all the different teams. And as soon as he leaves, we all crowd around. And so I get around in there, and I find my name, and I'm like, okay, running backs. Fourth string. Kickoff team. Third string. No movement. So we play the game that week. And what's important to know is our kickoff team wasn't very good. So if there was an opportunity, it was going to be on the kickoff team. So the next game comes, that week comes Saturday, and I'm doing my job. And the bench is really warm. I'm sitting there, and we kick off the ball, and the other team runs it all the way back to midfield, which if you know football, that's really bad. Puts the defense in a really tough spot. And our kickoff coach is a behemoth of a man. This man is a giant and has anger management issues. And he is stomping up and down the sideline. Gosh dang it! Come on! I want you to knock some heads. I want you to give some forearm shivers. Come on, kickoff team! And it was like that. And the kickoff team, these dudes are huge dudes. And these dudes are like thoroughbreds, right? They're like, yeah, coach. Yeah, we're going to run down there and knock some heads. Yeah, all right, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. And they got like snot coming down their nose. And so I'm looking at this saying, this is my opportunity. And so I'm watching this game, and we're doing a good, we're playing the game, and our quarterback throws a touchdown. So kickoff team, assemble. And they have a green mat where they have 11 spaces, and all the guys fill their spaces on the mat. That's how they know how many guys are correct that actually take the field. They all assemble, they take their spots, and they go out in the field, and now they're motivated. Now they're charged up. We kick off the ball. The other team catches it, runs it all the way back to the 48-yard line. So our coach is so mad that he decides to come up with a term for how he wants us to be, a new way of being as a kickoff team. And it's a deeply spiritual term. And he came up with this term called kamikaze. And he's like, gosh dang it, kickoff team, I want you to be kamikazes. I want you to be kamikazes. I want you to go down there and blow it up. And the kickoff team is like, yeah, coach, we're going to be your kamikazes. Yeah, coach. And so sure enough, we lose that game. And so I'm thinking, this is my opportunity. So all week, I'm thinking, what way of being am I thinking is going to impress the coach? Kamikaze. And so I am sprinting from drill to drill. I am running around I took it from a 10 to a 12. I'm giving everything I've got, being the biggest kamikaze I can as little Matt Boggs, running around that field hoping they will take notice. Thursday comes. Coach enters the locker room. We're all huddled around. He puts it up on the wall. Depth charts. He leaves. We get to the depth charts. I fight my way through. I find the running backs. Fourth string. Find the kickoff team. Here we go, baby. Third string. My brothers are coming in 2 days. So the next day is Friday. Team's doing a walkthrough. That night, my brothers call me. They're like, Matt, we're so excited. We're going to come, baby. Watch you play. And I'm like, guys, I told you I'm four-string running back, third string on the kickoff team. I am not going to get on this field. And they say, don't worry about it. We just want to see you in the pads, see you in the uniform. They've lowered their standards a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. And I said, good, man. Well, this is great. It'll be good to see you guys anyway. And so game time comes, and they're going to meet me behind the locker room before the game. And so I put on my shoulder pads and, put those on, and put on my pants, the pads in the pants, put on my cleats, and I walk out. I've got my helmet, and I walk out of the locker room, and you can hear the click, 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 click of the cleats on the concrete. And my brothers come around the corner, and they're like, oh my gosh, dude, look at you, man. Look at you. You look so good. And they're like hitting my shoulder pads. They say, put the helmet on, helmet. Look at you. This looks so good. It looks so good. And they're like, all right, man, go get him. Okay, man, I'm going to go get him. I'm going to go get that bench is actually what I'm going to do. And so I go down. I'm sitting on the bench. The game starts. We kick off the ball. Sure enough, other team runs it all the way back to midfield. And when that happens, I turn and I look at my brothers in the stands. And something happens for me in that moment. My level of desire went through the roof. And I thought to myself, I must get on that field tonight. My desire had moved from a want to a must. And I got an idea. Now, there's a spiritual principle and a physics principle, both actually, called sufficiency, which is the requisite amount of energy required for a transformation of a thing. The sufficient amount of energy before something will transform. We see it all the time in water. How many of you have ever boiled a pot of water? Like only 10% raise the hand. Really? This is audience participation time. Okay. Most of us, almost all of us have boiled a pot of water. So what happens? You turn on the heat, and what happens? You watch it, and it starts to heat up, and you're pouring energy into this water, are you not? You're pouring energy, pouring energy, pouring energy, and for a while, nothing happens. There is no phase change. And that water will get to 211 degrees Fahrenheit, and that water is hot, but there is no phase change. And then all of a sudden at 212 degrees, it shifts phases from a liquid to a gas. It creates steam, and with steam comes power. You can power a locomotive with steam. But at 211 degrees, you've poured a whole lot of energy into that water, haven't you? And nothing's happened. Some of you are at the 211 degree mark in your dream, aren't you? You've poured a whole lot of energy in. And you're wondering, when is this going to happen? You're wondering, what's it going to take for this to happen? Will it ever happen? Some of you poured 211 degrees into your dream 5 years ago. And because it didn't happen, you put it on the shelf, thinking it will never happen. Your dream will happen. It will happen with sufficiency when you give it the right amount of energy with the right structure. How many of you know that if you put a lid on top of that pot of water, it will boil faster. It's got more structure for how to flow, to how to contain that energy. So, I see my brothers up in the stands, and something clicks in me, and my desire for this goes from a want to a must. I must get on that field. What would have to happen for your desire, for your dream to go from a want to a must? What would be required for you? And so I'm like, I have to get on that field. I must get on that field. And right then, I get an idea. And it was a brave thinking idea. Because the moment I received it, I had fear shoot through my entire body. And my coach is livid, kickoff coach. So they've run it all the way back to the 48-yard line. My coach is stomping up and down the field. I'm like marching down the field going, gosh, dang it, guys, come on. Kamikazes, I need some kamikazes out there. And I get this idea, and I run the idea in my mind. And the idea is this. The idea is I'm sitting on the bench is for me to come off of the bench, walk towards the coach, and say, hey, coach, you want a kamikaze? I'm your man. You ever play a movie in your mind and you look really cool in the movie? And so half of me thought, that looks pretty cool, man. That looks good. That might work. And the other half of me thought, are you crazy? Because the other half of me knew what I had experienced in my past. See, what I had experienced all season long was that freshmen don't speak. We were put in a role as freshmen where your opinion didn't matter. You were on the scout team, cleanup crew, just serve the older guys. That was the role. You weren't skilled enough. You weren't good enough. Your opinion doesn't matter. Don't speak. You try to speak in a meeting, and it was, who's speaking? Freshman? You're speaking. Shut up, freshman. You're a freshman. You sit there and listen. You've been a freshman. You know. That was the role I was put in. Maybe people have tried to put you in a role. Maybe people have tried to put you in a role that was beneath what you were worth, what didn't measure up to your true value. Or sometimes, worse yet, we assume a role. We resign ourselves to a role and we say, this is as good as it gets. It can't get any better for me. You've got to claim your dream. And so in that moment I said, the coach was marching by. It was an opportunity that was going to pass me by. I had a split second to make that decision. What did we say this morning? Decisions don't take a long time that can change your life. But those windows of opportunities close and then they're gone. If you don't seize it while it's there, it will be gone. And so he's walking by, and I stood up and I said, hey, coach. And this man looked around. Yeah, Boggs? And I said, if you want a kamikaze, I'm your man. And the part of my brain that had seen the movie said, that was not like the movie, dude. So the coach is looking at me and he's like, all right, Boggs, next kickoff, you're in. And then I really got scared at that point because I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Our quarterback was amazing. He threw a 50-yard touchdown pass, and I hear the coach say, kickoff team, assemble. And there's that green mat with 11 spots on it. And so I'm standing here. All the guys converge to the mat that are supposed to be playing, and the guy who was in spot number 8 is standing over here. And he's a junior. And so he looks at me, looks at the mat, and kind of starts to take a move to the mat. And I'm like, actually, whoa. That's my spot. You've got to claim your spot. It won't be handed to you. You've got to claim your spot. It will not be handed to you. If you want it, you've got to grab it. And it doesn't mean someone else has to lose their spot in all cases, but it does mean you have got to seize it. And so I stood on that number 8 spot, and man, it felt good. It felt good. And the coach said, kickoff team, go! And so I run out onto the field, and I can feel my cleats on the grass. And I turn around, I see the lights shining down on us. We're playing at night, and the crowd is going wild. And above the crowd, I can hear my brothers going, oh! Oh, Matt Boggs, Matt's in the kick. Look at that. There he is. And so we line up. Ooh, we're ready. He kicks off the ball. I sprint down as fast as I can go. I dodge one guy. I knock into another guy. He falls down. We run around. We tackle the ball carrier. Get up, 20-yard line. And that number 8 spot was mine for the rest of the season. Starter as a freshman on the football team. There is a spot that has your name on it. Your dream has your name on it, but you've got to be willing to claim it. You've got to be willing to push through the people who doubt, the people who try to tell you you're not good enough, the people who try to tell you you don't have what it takes, but you know who you are. You know that that dream has been given to you for a reason. So the question is, are you willing to claim your spot? Are you willing to claim it? Are you willing to claim it? Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Then put your hands together and welcome Mary Morrissey to this stage.